Let's move on to another topic, which is this huge leak of classified documents, the biggest, I think, in a decade, which has created a sprawling crisis around Washington. A 21-year-old man has been arrested in relation to this. First of all, Mick, how big is this? And also, how does someone 21 years old have a security clearance that allows them access to all of this stuff?
Yeah, well, actually, the second is a lot more common than you realize. A lot of young people, a lot of new people. He was, I think, a National Guardist or a reservist, so he wasn't even full time and had some access. That's not at all unusual. If you think about who runs the military, it's a lot of young people involved with that. So especially, James, when you get into the intelligence branches, you having kids with computers all the time, it's probably not surprising that it's not folks like you and me running the cyber divisions of the various branches of the government. So it doesn't surprise me there's a 21-year-old. It does surprise me that this stuff came out. It's, when I say it's serious, any leak of any type of information is serious. It's not entirely clear whether or if any of this is accurate. Keep in mind, you're never going to get a confirmation from the military that it is or it isn't. But there do seem to be some reports that some of the stuff is provably not accurate. At least one of the documents is provably altered. So there's some question as to how real it is. But certainly when you have this type of leak and a leak of this size, it's more than one or two things. It certainly gets everybody's attention. And there's a lot of work to be done to fix whatever damage might have been caused.
And one of the things that, and I know you say that we don't know whether these documents are real or not, but assuming the general theme of them is correct, it does seem to run counter a lot of what's come out to the talk that's been out of the White House about, a successful Ukrainian spring offensive, about the unity of American partners against Russia. Obviously, some people will say, well, this could be Russian disinformation to make Americans doubt the project in Ukraine. But it might also make people wonder, are we getting the full story on a lot of these things where there's some wish casting, I think, from people in the White House and associated with the defense and intelligence sectors?
Sure. I mean, if the government isn't telling its people exactly the truth about a war, that certainly wouldn't be the first time that's happened in history. There's examples every single day of the Russians doing the exact same thing to their folks. So, yeah, again, I don't know anything about the veracity of these documents, but it would not surprise me that if the truth on the ground is different than what the government is telling the press, I absolutely believe that is something that could be entirely possible.